How's it going, folks, and welcome back. It's episode number 59 of Part 2 Primera, and it's been a few days since I was sat here to play Football Manager, so much so that I'm kind of sat here thinking, wait, where did I get to? Can anyone else relate to this feeling? You know, you don't touch your save in a few days, you kind of forget exactly where you got to. I can now remember. We're taking on Real Madrid today, everyone. It's the end of January, the transfer window has already slammed shut, and my oh my, we've been busy. Now, before we talk about the additions that we made in the winter, I need to talk about Petr Sadu because I forgot to mention him when we signed him in the summer. We actually signed him in the summer from Cluj for 5.25 million with a loan back deal to loan him back to them for the year. I have recalled him early. We'll talk about why in just a moment. But at 19 years old, he's capped for Romania's international team. Can play centre mid, can play centre defensive mid. Although for us, and I think long term, I do see him playing centre back for us. I think he's a really, really good player in this area of the pitch. Great physicals, mentals on the whole are more than solid. Probably not the best ball playing defender, but in terms of overall defensive ability, aerial ability, and for a player who's 19, he is very, very good. And I feel guilty that we didn't talk about him sooner. Now, why is he back at the club? Why have I recalled him early? Well, because I sold a centre-back, and that centre-back is Cyprien Leroux, whose name I've been having issues saying, but I've managed to say it correctly there. We move. £22.5 million received for this chap. We signed him on a free 2 years ago from Club Bruges, and whilst he has been, I guess, sparingly used as a backup this year, the centre-back, with only 4 appearances, when a £22.5 million bid came in, knowing that I had Sadu, who I could recall from loan, it was an absolute no-brainer of a sale. So Leroux leaves us. Never really been a massive fan of his physicals, especially his kind of jumping reach only being 11 for a centre-back. I know there's some of you out there who, 11 jumping reach on a centre-back, you're not going near him. He's not a small player. He's not a giant player either. Questions over his potential. 22 in a month's time. I felt like it was a bit of an easy decision to make. So 22.5 million received. The only other player who left us, Atakovic. The saga goes on. A few of you have mentioned the fact that at this point, Atakovic probably deserves his own reality show documenting his career. I mean, I'm all for that. You can see here, current ability of 2.5 star, potential ability really is lacking. He's gone on loan to Osasuna. He's got a goal and an assist so far, so maybe he's turned the corner for them. We'll keep a close eye on how he performs over the year. Right now, however, he's starting regularly for a team in the relegation zone. A little bit of a fall from grace for him. Now, in terms of the ins, there's one name here that's going to stand out more than the others because you actually recognise him. Sandro Tonali, signed for less than 14 million, 13.75 to be precise, from Man City. Now, he's not as crazy as I've seen him turn out in various FM save games, but I'll tell you now, the Kylo Ren lookalike for a 26-year-old is still a phenomenal player. He is going to be coming into our team and kind of challenging, I think, Blanco really at centre mid. You can see here versus Blanco, not quite as good defensively, but a lot better from a creative perspective and technically as well, which of course in a box-to-box midfielder, where there is a more defensive mid in behind, is somewhat important. The fee is small. The only, I guess, big headline thing here is the wages. £140,000 a week is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's very ridiculous. It's more than double what anyone else is on. Little bit concerned about the long-term consequences of this, but as a team that are challenging at the top of La Liga, as a team that have quite a lot of money in the bank and are regularly now making it to the Champions League knockouts, there comes a day where I have to actually start paying players what they're worth. I think Tonali is almost certainly an example of that. Hopefully he's going to step up. He's not played for us yet. Today, he will make his debut. In terms of other transfers that we've made, you can see here, Wanderley was the other big addition. 18 years old, Brazilian, signed for 10 million smackaroonies. Gone straight on loan to the B team, although I'm not sure, based on the squad rules for the B team's league, if he's even going to play that much for them. But nevertheless, he's also available for the youth team. You can see here, 18 years old, Brazilian, great potential, model citizen personality. We love to see that here. You can see lacks a little bit in the aerial department, but either-footed, super technically gifted. 17 passing is superb. Maybe needs to work a little bit on the dribbling. Kind of has oddly low dribbling for this kind of forward, but nevertheless, a very, very good player. Could easily play as a deep line forward for us down the line. Only just turned 18. 10 million is not cheap, but I think it'll be worth the long-term investment. And well, besides Wanderley, we had 5 other players join us, all to be B-team players. I talked about it, I think, yesterday, the need to get in more players for the B-team. We've done just that. We've got Antonio Herrera here, who has joined us just as a centre-back for £1 million. Bargain buy, bit of depth, we love to see it. Moreau has also joined us for a pretty measly fee from Sevilla, 500k spent, not really got any potential, but at 19 years old, player with some good current ability, slots into the B team nicely, and well, there's a similar story for the rest of these here. Callagher, backup goalkeeper. Elsewhere, we also have Delgado, who has joined us as a backup left back. Loads of defenders, really, and perhaps the most exciting of the players is Core Smith, who's 20, so not super young really, but has a little bit of potential, amazing jumping reach, ambitious personality as well, which is only going to help with their development. And all in all, they look like a pretty good buy. We picked him up from Sparta for 1.6 million, which I think's quite good. He had a good debut. So yeah, you're welcome, B team. They've got a bit more of a fleshed out squad now. Worth noting as well, Viqueira, who we got through a youth intake a few years ago. I've loaned him out the last couple of years, but this time I've decided to recall him and make him our first choice goalkeeper for the B team. So good opportunity for him. Prospect to the academy, had a year and a half out on loan, kind of come to the realisation he'd be a pretty good fit for the B team. He is back. He is playing for them. We'll keep an eye on his development. His current ability for a goalkeeper is very, very good. So that's what's been going on in January. Plenty of players coming in, mostly for the future, but Tonali and I think Wanderley, 2 players who may well feature in the first team, if not this year in the case of Wanderley, certainly next year. Still a couple of players who could potentially make moves during this window. Thomas Bissia looks like he's on his way out of the door. He's been requesting to leave the club for a little while now at 27 years old. I don't feel like we need him at centre-back, so we're looking to move him on for a bit of a cash. Elsewhere, of course, Chen and Perez we'd already agreed to sign, but you can see here, Dreyer is another chap we've picked up. Plays for Midtjylland, signed on a free transfer, 17 years old, contract was expiring at the end of the year. Looks like he could be a great youngster with lots of potential, but, and it's a big but, inconsistent, injury-prone, not adaptable, very one-footed. Yeah, there's a lot of negatives to him, but if he can live up to his potential, he will be phenomenal. Low risk deal. It's a freebie. We'll see what becomes of him. So all in all, we've had a really successful spell off the pitch, I think, over the last month. Some really good additions to the squad, especially Tonali for the price that we paid. We still have loads of money in the bank as well, which is great, of course, because Alfredo Perez hates me. He's not given me much of that money. But in terms of what else is going on here, on the pitch, superb. We left last episode, I think, 3 points behind Barcelona. We have unfortunately lost ground on them because they've not slipped up. But you can see, despite losing ground on them, we've played pretty well as of late. And we won more silverware. We've won the Super Coppa again. And we did that with 2 pretty big wins. The first here against Atleti, some nice build-up play down the left-hand side. Martinez couldn't score it, but Sia Pina was there to make it 1-0. And we added a second against Atleti from the penalty spot. It was that man again, Sia Pena, as we like to call him when he scores penalties. Really good performance against Atleti in the semi-final, though. Dominant. And also, look at this. The skin's seen an update. We've now got a new match overview screen, which I really like. So after the 2-0 result against Atleti, into the final we marched, and in this final, 1 highlight, 1 goal. It was all that we needed. Pablo Torre, you little beauty, take a bow. Ter Stegen, good goalkeeping as well. I think the goalkeeping probably helped us out there. You can see how the final played out, though. It was a very, very even game. They played a very, very strong team, did Barca. In the end, though, we managed to scrape our way through, and it was a good team performance on the whole. Machedo playing in goal. Ramadani was out with an injury for this one. So going into the rest of the games, Ramadani was back as we beat Vallecano 1-0. And then into the Copa del Rey, we've entered as of late. A 3-0 win against Logrones. We also, as you can see here, beat Ferrol. And in between there, we beat Betis 3-0. And most recently, drew against Levante 0-0. But in this game, Jonathan Martinez was sent off. He got what was frankly a stupid booking. I'm pretty happy that we managed to wrestle a draw from this game. And it's kept this terrific run of clean sheets going. Sadly, because we did drop 2 points there by drawing, Barcelona have pulled ahead of us. As a result, today's game against Real Madrid is really, really big. So going into this game against Real Madrid, we need to win, not only to keep that incredible unbeaten run that we're on going, but also just to ensure that we can keep up with Barcelona. If we lose here, Barca could pull clear. Equally, Real Madrid will draw level on points with us. That's not a situation anyone wants to see. And, well, when it comes to the team news, this is what we've got going on. Mexica's out injured, Martinez suspended after that red card. As a result, Avramidez moves out onto the right wing. His partner in crime on the left is going to be Bryan Gil. Not really much of a weakened 11, to be honest. I feel like bringing in Bryan Gil here, already evaluating how he might be able to extend his loan beyond this year, because he has been extremely good for us, especially as of late. He's really upped his level of performance. The rest of the team looks very, very familiar, with one exception. Tonali comes into the team, and whilst he's definitely more of a specialist kind of defensive midfielder, I think as far as box-to-box midfielders go, he's still a very, very talented player. Has good rounded physicals, good rounded mentals. Despite his lack of finishing, I think the rest of his technical game is well made for a box-to-box midfielder role, and he's not too dissimilar to Blanco, really, just a straight upgrade there. As I mentioned, it's a debut for him today. I hope he doesn't let me down. So one thing to note as we go into today's game is the match UI has been updated a little bit with the latest version of TCS3. I've talked about it in a few other videos, but TCS3 is being worked on. I'm pleased to report it will be out in the next 7 days. So as you watch this video, be prepared. The skin is getting towards being publicly available. I will be doing a video about it when it comes out. Early highlight here for Real Madrid, of course. Chris Mepham playing at centre-back, and, well, they are just capitulating. And Siapina, he's just mentally capitulated there. He has to score that. They've given us a gift, and we've just refused to take it. And we might live to regret that. Also, can we just pause and have a look here? Look how cool this is between highlights. We can have the formations of the team, the shots in the last 5 minutes, although you can change it, the visualizer for where stuff's happening on the pitch, the focus of attacks, the territory of those kind of, recent 5 minutes as well. We've got match stats, latest scores, league table, and still have the advice on the left. Maybe I'm easily impressed. I just feel like I'm sat in the cockpit of a fighter jet with all this information laid out in front of me. I don't think I have any right to be as excited about the UI as I am. I just think it's exciting, and that is exciting as well. Esteban Ruiz de Galarreta. I never use his full name. I feel like a parent telling him off there. He's just scored a superb goal. And, well, we will take that. Are we going to get a highlight of the goal? We are going to get a highlight of the goal. Pablo whips it in. Galarreta leaps well, hammers it home off his forehead. And from set pieces this year, we have been formidable. I feel like, Spain, it's quite a flavourful nation. Ball-playing centre-backs are aplenty. And we've come in with this kind of old-school approach of just getting big centre-backs who aren't the greatest with the ball at their feet. They're not Pau Torres. But I'll tell you what, they will bully other defenders, and they're just bigger. It's kind of the playground approach. You just want the biggest players you can have on the pitch. And it's working wonders for us this year. And, well, I will hope that we can maybe craft out a second goal-scoring opportunity here to really set us on our way. Of course, at home, with our unbeaten run, I back us to beat Real Madrid, which is perhaps a testament to the progress that we've made, here at the club as of late, transitioning into this more attacking team. And, well, the progress and the process that we've been through is kind of culminating, I feel like, this year. And has Chris Mepham just scored an own goal? He actually has. People are going to accuse me of fixing it. I don't know. Chris Mepham might be a secret agent. He might be my secret agent. I don't even know what to say. Avramidez's run is good, I suppose, and the ball's whipped in well. And Chris Mepham, I have him in my stream save that we do at the moment over on Twitch. Here he's doing a very good job for us. It is worth acknowledging, you might have seen it pop up there, Barcelona today are taking on Atletico Madrid, and whilst Atleti have been a bit meh, for lack of a better term, they are a team that could definitely steal points away from Barcelona playing at home and could open up an opportunity for us to catch them. Sadly, it's not worked out like that so far, and maybe I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch, because Real Madrid could still come back in this game, just like Atleti have come back in their game. I saw that, 1-1. And, you can see here how things are looking. The XG story tells a picture. We have been very, very good in this game so far. Real Madrid didn't even have a shot until the second half of that half. Pablo Torre running the show. Bryan Gil out on the left, not having a particularly good game. In fact, he's got a worse rating than Mepham, who scored an own goal. I'm not sure what to make of that, really. Right, at half-time, I'm not happy, but I've got faith in you lads to improve. Pablo Torre hates me. He actually hates me. Right, move on. We are going to be keeping a keen eye on that Atleti game, which actually Asensio just scored in to make 2-1 to Atleti. As things stand, we are going to be closing the gap on Barcelona, which is what we want to see. A third goal would help me ease my nerves in this game, though. Real Madrid are good. They've got Lukaku. He's been top goal scorer regularly. And whilst they've not been good this year, really, in terms of league performance, they have won the league twice in a row. I don't think they're going to win it a third time in a row, though. It's 3-0 here, and Avramides, not for the first time in this game, on the near side, getting his way forward. And on this occasion, he's picked out his partner in crime in Siapina. And it's Siapina's forehead. He's very good at his heading. Like, unusually so. I feel like Siapina's a guy who's got great technical ability, and when you kind of look at his polygon in game and stuff, you would just think, yeah, he's going to be a good goal scorer, really good creative player. But actually, in terms of the aerial threat, he's pretty good there too. And now hoping we can get a fourth. I'm getting greedy. Capanu, back to Galarreta. Few players on a booking, so maybe worth being aware of that, including Capanu, who has got a little bit of a reputation for being a bad boy. But we'll let this play out first as Zivkovic attempts to play through Avramides. It was not the best of balls, but we still have possession here. And Perez at left-back, who turned down Real Madrid to join us in the summer, is bringing it forward. Flick back to Tonali, who is yet to show us his passing range. Maybe he'll show us it here, I say, as he does a super simple pass to Pablo. Avramides, thread through Siapina. It's 4. It's embarrassing. Real Madrid, pack up your bags, go home. You're not in the race. You're not invited to our little battle at the top of the table. And we've kept a lot of clean sheets in the last month. We're on course for another one, but perhaps most impressively, we've scored 4 goals against the reigning champions. And Siapina, newsflash everyone, he's still a god. Okay, at this point, I think it's time to just be a little bit sensible with changes. We're going to bring in Blanco in the ball-winning midfielder position. Elsewhere, I'm going to bring in Corridor for Galarreta at centre-back, just to give Corridor some game time, and because Galarreta's on a booking. Perez is also on a booking, so I could make changes there. You know what? I'm going to do it, because Mark has played really well at right-back. Going to bring him in, triple change. Hopefully I'm not being too complacent here. You can see, I was about to check the other score, but I think we are still going to close the gap here as... Oh, Corridor's now scored. It's 5. What is happening here? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. Like, Siapina's won another header. He's nodded it down for Corridor. Now, whether or not it was a pass or a header off target, we may never know. Elsewhere, Atleti are still winning 2-1. As things stand, well, I was about to say we're closing the gap on Barcelona. I've just seen that they've now drawn level against Atleti. I saw the league table update for a second. You know what? I'm focusing way too much on what's going on elsewhere. Let's savour this. It's 6. It's 6. I'm just going to sit back in my chair. I don't understand. We have built a crazy, efficient machine. Dare I say here at Racing. It's not the best team on paper. It's not a team playing like a super sexy system that sees us play pretty football. But we have games like this where we just turn up and we score, and we have really talented players for doing that. And you know what? We've thrown our luck a little bit in this game. I look at the Mepamone goal. We still managed to score 6 against Real Madrid, which is just mad. It's just mad. I mean, it helps our goal difference. And it could get worse. I mean, 7? 7 would be silly. 7, I mean, I'm willing us to get 7 goals against Real Madrid. This is the kind of video where I want to put the scoreline in the title of the video, because I know people will watch it if they knew the scoreline. 7? It's 7-0. It's 7. What do I do? What do I do? I don't even know. I've just had a thought. I'll be back in a moment. Sorry, I'm back. When I made some popcorn dinner, you know, got to savour the moment and all that, right? Back to the game. 7-0. 7-0. I mean, look, if I wasn't recording, I'd be doing this anyway. This is entertainment, isn't it? I mean, if you're watching at home now and you're thinking, I've got popcorn in my house, go and make some. There's probably not going to be another highlight in this game. Or maybe 8. 8. I mean, I'd 8 to be Real Madrid. Imagine if we got 8. It's not happening, is it? It's not. Back to the popcorn. I genuinely... I don't know what's happened this game. It's like we've got possessed. I mean, Courtois is time wasting at this point. He is trying to delay the game so they can't concede anymore. I thought they were going to ruin the clean sheet, but we're going to keep that as well. It's 7-0. I know it's not professional for me to be eating popcorn whilst the match is playing out, but I'm sure you can see it from my point of view. Zivkovic, don't worry about the yellow, mate. In fact, if you get a red, there's popcorn waiting for you on the sideline, bud. Just as a reminder, you're not dreaming. It's 7. I've got popcorn. This episode towards the end has really gone off the rails. It seems like every shot we had in the second half went in, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Ciapina's got 2 goals and 2 assists. Avramidez has got a goal and 2 assists. We've had a great time. Apparently we struggled for possession in the opposition half, but I'm fine with that. And Ramadani kept a clean sheet for 270 competitive minutes. Well done, lads. That is what I needed. I mean, that's going down in folklore, innit, that result. I mean, what do you say after that? If you've enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed watching that, whatever that was, drop a like on it. I mean, Atakovic got an assist as well. I mean, what a great weekend of football in general. Ciapina, praise him like he should be. I feel like this is a man who could end up in WorkTheSpace folklore if he can keep this level of performance up. He has been just revolutionary for us going forward. I don't know what to say. They were unbeaten in 7 away from home. It was the main talking point, apparently. And for good reason. We've ruined their goal difference and helped our goal difference massively. And Barcelona, elsewhere, drew 2-2. So whilst it wasn't quite the result we needed, the gap is now closed on them down to 3 points. And we have got that better goal difference now, which can only be a good thing. So looking ahead to when we're going to be back next time, you can see we've got a Champions League game against Benfica on the horizon. I think next episode we will do both the Champions League games as a double header. Going to be 2 big ones. I want to get further than we've gone before in the Champions League. I do appreciate to do that. We've got to make it to the final, which, I mean, after that result, absolutely anything is possible, apparently. I hope to see you guys for that next one. I can't guarantee it's going to be like this one, though, I'm afraid to say. I do think I overestimated how much popcorn I was going to eat in the remainder of that match, though. Probably didn't need to do quite this much. Right, folks, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I've got carried away. What a bonkers way to come back to Football Manager after a few days off. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. Hopefully it's the same tomorrow. It won't be, but until then, it is me, Jack. I don't know, we're just beating Real Madrid 7-0. I'm going to say, we're beating them 7-0, end the episode. Oh my word, what is happening?